Hi, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. I want to call your attention to temperatures. This is back about 6:30 earlier on this evening. We had temperatures ranging around 33 degrees in Newport, 34 degrees in Morrisville, plenty warm, 39 in St. Johnsbury, a 43-degree reading at the E.F. Knapp Airport in Barre Montpelier. Uh, Down around Rutland, 46 degrees, 35 degrees down in Springfield, 38 in White River Junction, West Lebanon, and over at Saranac Lake, about 39 degrees. The cold spots show some of that cold low-level wind, sub-freezing air getting down into parts of Addison County, Middlebury down to 31. 26 at the time. This is about 6:30 again earlier this evening. At Burlington, about 23 degrees in Plattsburgh, 24 degrees up around Highgate, just a little bit north of the over the border there, Fraylesburg in Quebec, showing up with 23 and a 19-degree reading just a little bit north of the border there in the St. Lawrence River Valley. We've had a few reports already of some power lines down and issues with some impressive icing taking place. In some cases, already up to a half inch in some locations. Now, as I move the time along here, I'm just going to jump this to the current time here, approximately, we're looking at about 9:35. Temperatures continue to stay close to 32 degrees at Newport, 30 degrees in Morrisville now. It's dropped to 34 in Lyndonville, 36 in St. Johnsbury is holding its own. Temperatures have made it down now to 32 degrees at the E.F. Knapp State Airport. And down here in Rutland County, 30 degrees are already being reported. And again, rain is moving across the region. Um, Also, we're at 32 degrees at Glens Falls this hour. Over at Saranac Lake, the temperatures have now dropped to 30 degrees. The cold spots continue to be now Middlebury, the Burlington area, 21 degrees over here in Plattsburgh, 22 degrees at Franklin County Airport up around Highgate, a 19-degree reading holding its own up to the northern border area. What's happening is the winds are continuing to increase just a little bit. Not so much east of the Green Mountains, however, but temperatures on their own are falling east of the Green Mountains, posing a new threat, especially in the area around Lamoille County and even down into the Barre Montpelier area where we're probably going to start to see some glazing. Travel is definitely going to be a hazard in these locations. And now we continue to see the winds continue to blow out of the north, and these winds are penetrating way south now into parts of Rutland County. What's happening along the northern tier areas of Vermont, however, is the winds have been relatively light and not effective in pushing that very cold air down. However, temperatures are seeping all by themselves, especially in places like Morrisville, where glazing is starting to happen. And this is also getting into the Barre Montpelier area as well. I would expect some icing to start to occur in some spotty areas here east of the Green Mountains. But the main concern will continue to be in the Champlain Valley and then right down the western side of the state of Vermont, right into even Glens Falls. These areas are starting to pick up some ice as rain will continue to blow in from the west. The upper levels of the winds, of course, aloft continue to be out of the west, blowing in warm air over cold air, and it all means an ice storm. Here's the primary reason why we're very, very concerned about the increasing icing that's going to be taking place overnight. We've been seeing a little bit of breaks in the actions, a little bit of pauses, some intermissions across parts of northern Vermont where the precipitation has been a little bit lighter. Now, if we pause it, you can see the model runs here as the accumulation of the precipitation. These are 3 hourly totals. And here we're up to about, let's see, this would be 02Z or 9 o'clock. And that would be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight. And then we get into a heavier batch of rain, which is starting to filter to the from southwest to northeast across the region. This would be 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now this is the 2-meter temperature forecast, and this red line illustrates 32 degrees isotherm. And you can clearly see where the western side of Vermont here, the Champlain Valley, is undertaking the worst. The coldest air continues to seep in on a sort of north to northeast wind, and it does eventually penetrate across parts of Orleans County, vicinity of Jay Peak and Newport territory, and then also really making a pretty good run right down into areas of western Vermont, into about the Glens Falls area. Now, This is the 925 millibar temperature, and this is elevated a little bit off the surface and couple thousand feet in the air. And you can continue to see this wind also funneling in with the 0 degree centigrade or 32 degree isotherm. Also making it at that level, although this air mass is a lot more shallow in this particular area. The area where it's deeper, it's been mixing with a little bit of sleet, and we are expecting this along the northern border areas. This is a quick look at the precipitation type, and I'm going to stop this and run this backwards a little bit here. Okay, this would be, that would have been 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and 8 a.m. We'll stop it right there. And you can see that freezing rain is still pretty much in progress, although the heaviest precipitation has now moved off, or was in the process of moving off to the east-northeast by around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And last but not least, I wanted to show you accumulated snowfall. Now, this also includes sleet, and the indications are that in the deeper air, we're going to see a little bit of sleet and maybe even some wet snow right across the northern border areas. That's going to take a little bit off the amount of increased icing, and so I would expect a little bit more of a mix here, especially in the Champlain Islands, and that may actually save them a little bit, but the damage is pretty much done. Now, the other thing to look at here, as I stop this with the total accumulations, this is valid at 14Z, or roughly about 10 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. You're looking at some pretty heavy snowfall just a little bit north of the Canadian border, right across parts of Canada. You can see potentially anywhere from 6 to about 10 inches in some locations. Amazing storm. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.